Did you know poor people still waste money on these 7 things? Even in 2025, when everything costs more than ever, Warren Buffett once said, "It's not about how much you make, it's about how you spend." Let me show you the personal finance mistakes that millions have made, including ones you might be making without realizing it. Watch till the end, because the 7th one is exactly why most people never achieve financial freedom or build lasting wealth. 1. Gambling: the shortest path to bankruptcy. In life, we all dream of achieving wealth and financial freedom. But the true path to lasting prosperity requires patience, discipline, and smart personal financial choices. Unfortunately, many people search for shortcuts, hoping to get rich quickly through luck-based games like gambling. They believe that with just a small amount of money, they can change their lives overnight. But the truth is, gambling rarely leads to sustainable wealth. More often, it ends in wasted money and even deeper poverty. We've all heard stories about lottery winners. At first, they seem to have it all. They buy new homes, luxury cars, and travel the world. But within just a few years, many of them find themselves in worse financial situations than before they hit the jackpot. Why? Because they lacked the mindset of wealth. They didn't know how to manage their money wisely. They spent recklessly on fleeting pleasures instead of building lasting wealth with intention and structure. Investing is a completely different concept from gambling. When you invest, you're putting your money into assets that have the potential to grow over time, like stocks, bonds, real estate, or even investing in yourself through education and new skills. Investing requires research, analysis, and, above all, patience. You need to understand the risks and potential rewards before making decisions. Most importantly, you need a long-term financial plan to build sustainable wealth. Gambling, on the other hand, is not constructive. It's a game of chance where the odds are stacked against you. Casinos and betting platforms are designed to ensure that they always win. In the long run, most gamblers lose money. Instead of building wealth, they're pouring it into an activity that gives nothing back. Look at the world's most successful financial figures. Legendary investors like Warren Buffett didn't build their fortunes through gambling. They became wealthy through smart investments and a wealth-building mindset. They understand that money is a tool, a means to create value and build a better future, not something to be gambled with. Personal finance is a critical life skill that everyone must learn. It involves budgeting, saving, investing, and managing debt. If you want financial freedom, you must take control of your finances. Don't let money control you. Take charge of it. Many people end up in financial hardship not because they don't earn enough, but because they don't know how to manage what they have. They waste money on things they don't need, have no clear financial plan, and don't invest in their future. They lack the mindset of wealth. Building wealth is a long journey. It demands persistence. There are no shortcuts. If you want financial freedom, you need a plan. You need to invest wisely, and you need to stay far away from gambling. Remember, money is a tool to help you reach your goals, not the goal itself. Focus on building lasting wealth through healthy personal finance habits and smart investing. That is the real path to wealth and financial freedom. 2. Buying a house too soon: the sweet financial trap. In today's world, owning a home is often seen as a symbol of success and financial stability. The American dream of having a family under one roof still carries a powerful emotional pull. But the truth is, buying a house too early, especially when it comes with a massive debt, doesn't just mean buying a place to live. It means taking on a financial burden that can quietly suffocate your ability to invest, grow, and achieve true financial freedom. A brilliant investor once said, "He's not against buying a house, but never buy one on debt if you're not truly financially ready." That advice is worth reflecting on. Wealthy individuals don't rush to buy homes. In fact, many of them choose to rent in the early stages of their journey, living modestly while channeling every dollar into high-return assets like stocks, businesses, or rental real estate. This is part of what defines a wealth-building mindset. On the other hand, many people, maybe even ourselves at some point, believe that owning a home means you've made it. So they take on a 30-year mortgage, commit to decades of interest payments, and end up feeling trapped in the very house they thought would set them free. There's no room left in the budget for investing, no flexibility in financial decisions, and each day becomes a struggle just to stay afloat. That's not a path to wealth, it's a path to financial stress. Take the story of a successful entrepreneur and real estate investor. For the first 15 years of his career, he didn't buy a house. He rented on purpose to keep his cash flow nimble and focused on funding high-yield investments. When he did eventually buy real estate, it was primarily for business purposes, not to show off his wealth. That's a prime example of how people with a wealth mindset make smart, strategic financial choices. So if you're thinking about buying a house, ask yourself, are you buying freedom or a burden? Renting for a few years in the beginning isn't failure. It's often a smart move, a strategic pause to build your capital and strengthen your financial position. Delaying that decision can save you from wasting money on premature ownership costs and allow you to focus on building wealth through smarter investments. And once you understand how major life decisions can lead to financial traps, start looking closer at the small ones. Those everyday habits that seem harmless but slowly drain your wallet. One classic example: signing up for a gym membership without a real commitment to using it. Let's take a hard look at the reality behind this so-called investment in health. It might be costing you more than you think. Recognizing these hidden pitfalls and making intentional, informed financial decisions is key to building lasting wealth and achieving true financial freedom. 3. Signing up for a gym without commitment. After discussing the financial trap of buying a house too soon, which can lock you in a financial strain if not carefully considered, I want to talk about something that might seem minor but causes many people to quietly bleed money each month: signing up for a gym membership without truly committing to it. Let's be honest with each other. How many times have you excitedly signed up for a gym membership? 1 month, 3 months, maybe even a year. But after the initial enthusiasm, your schedule starts falling apart. Work gets busy, the weather turns bad, you feel a little tired, and before you know it, your gym membership card becomes a mere decorative piece. Many people, myself included, have spent money just to feel like we're changing, rather than actually making those changes. A study in the US showed that about 70% of people who sign up for a gym quit after just a few months. They're paying for an illusion, paying to deceive themselves into thinking they're living a healthy lifestyle and taking care of their bodies. But as you know, your body doesn't change based on a bill. It changes through consistent habits. Warren Buffett once said, "Success is the result of small habits maintained daily, not a burst of temporary inspiration." And looking back, I realized the commitment isn't in the money you spend. It's in whether you're willing to get out of bed every morning to exercise. Think about David Goggins, a living legend in mental toughness. He was once overweight and depressed, but transformed himself into one of the most resilient and fit people on the planet. He didn't need a 5-star gym. He didn't need state-of-the-art equipment. All he needed was a road to run on, an indomitable will, and an unwavering determination. Steve Jobs, Apple's founder, once said, "Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication." This applies to both finance and health. You don't need to spend too much money to be healthy. A good pair of shoes in nearby park, some simple plank or push-up exercises every morning, sometimes that's the most solid foundation. I'm not saying that going to the gym is wrong. If you truly enjoy that environment and can keep up with it regularly, go for it. But if you're paying just to feel better about yourself without taking real action, it's time to stop, reflect, and make a change. Don't spend money on an image. Invest in habits. Because sustainability in finances, just like in health, is built on simple, consistent, and genuine practices. 4. Buying luxury brands, trading finances for a label. In today's consumer-driven society, luxury brands have become powerful symbols of status and success. Many people believe that owning expensive items from prestigious labels will earn them admiration and elevate their self-worth. But in reality, chasing luxury can lead to a dangerous financial trap, one that drains your money and pulls you away from the path of real wealth building. We often find ourselves caught in the cycle of buying an image. We spend money on things we don't truly need, just to show others that we have made it. But those who are genuinely wealthy think differently. They focus on the real value of a product, not just the perceived value that comes with a label. Look at the world's billionaires. They don't flaunt their wealth with luxury goods. Why? Because they understand that every dollar spent on a designer bag is a dollar not invested in assets that can grow, like stocks, real estate, or even in themselves through education and skills. They build wealth by focusing on what creates lasting value, not what just looks good on surface. Personal finance is a critical area we all need to master. It's not just about earning money, it's about managing it wisely. Spending recklessly on luxury items is one of the most common mistakes people make. Instead of growing wealth, they're burning cash on things that offer no long-term benefit. The key to sustainable wealth is investing. When you invest, you put your money into assets with the potential to generate future income, like stocks, bonds, real estate, or personal development. It takes patience, discipline, and a wealth-building mindset. You need a clear financial plan and the commitment to stick to it. Many people fall into financial hardship not because they don't earn enough, but because they don't manage what they have. They waste money on unnecessary purchases, lack a clear financial strategy, and fail to invest in their future. They lack the mindset needed to create lasting wealth. Financial freedom is a goal we all strive for, but to reach it, we need to develop the right mindset and healthy financial habits. We must learn to distinguish between needs and wants, between real value and flashy marketing. We need to invest in what brings long-term growth, not what gives momentary satisfaction. Remember, money is a tool, not the ultimate goal. Our real goal is to build lasting wealth, achieve financial freedom, and live a meaningful life. Don't let luxury brands fool you. Focus on what truly matters and start building a future that reflects real success. 5. Buying a new car, losing money the moment you drive it out. Imagine you've just walked out of the car dealership and your brand new car is waiting for you under the bright sunlight. Everyone around you admires it, and you feel like you've just elevated your life. But after basking in that pride for a moment, something starts to feel off. So, why does buying a new car become a financial mistake? Simply put, new cars depreciate rapidly. The moment you drive it out of the showroom, it's already worth about 20 to 30% less. Within a year, your car could lose up to 30% of its value. And after 5 years, that figure can rise to 60%. Imagine you borrowed a large sum to buy a new car, and a year later, you realize it's no longer worth much. That sounds painful, doesn't it? But if you're not careful, this could become a non-recoverable loss, especially when the car alone is significant. You might end up spending months paying off a vehicle that no longer holds much value. In fact, your car could become a long-term financial burden. So why do so many people continue to make this mistake? We often get caught up in the idea that a new car brings pride and boosts our self-worth. But did you know, in a world of successful people like Warren Buffett, buying a new car is considered waste? They understand that instead of spending money on a rapidly depreciating asset, they should invest in opportunities that yield long-term returns. You've probably heard of Mark Cuban, one of America's most famous billionaires. He is known for having a very clear stance: don't buy a new car. Instead, Cuban always prioritizes buying used cars. For a simple reason: the car still works well and saves a significant amount of money, while its value doesn't depreciate too quickly. Warren Buffett shares this view as well. He's accustomed to driving older cars and never seeks to own new ones. This is because the wealthy never waste money on assets that lose value quickly. They know how to spend their money wisely, ensuring that it could be invested in opportunities that generate long-term profit. So what's the solution? Instead of buying a new car, you could opt for a car that's 2 to 3 years old. Yes, a used car that is still in near-new condition can save you up to 30% compared to purchasing a new one. This is a smart way to save money while still owning a reliable mode of transportation. Remember, a car is not an income-generating asset. It's merely a tool to help you move from place to place and get your work done. And if you can't make a profit from the car, then owning a new one will never be a financially sound decision. Instead, invest that money into other financial opportunities, stocks, real estate, or learning new skills to improve yourself. In doing so, you'll build a strong financial foundation, rather than living off fleeting luxury items that quickly lose value. In the next section, I will point out one of the most expensive habits poor people often fall into: watching TV and playing video games too much. Let's explore how changing this habit can help you make the most of your time and energy. 6. Watching TV and playing video games too much a waste of time and mental energy. Most of us have probably had those relaxing nights, sitting in front of the TV screen or getting lost in video games, right? These are the moments when you can forget all your worries and immerse yourself in a world where everything revolves around entertainment. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself if these hours really bring lasting value to your life? The answer may make you think deeply. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors in the world, once shared that he doesn't spend time watching TV shows or playing video games. Instead, he devotes most of his time to reading books and learning new things. For him, reading books and investing in knowledge is the only way to keep growing and increasing wealth. This is probably a powerful reminder that time is our most valuable asset, and how we use it will determine whether we succeed or fail in life. A study shows that 70% of Americans spend hours every day in front of the TV or playing games, instead of investing their time in learning, developing skills, or creating additional income. One day, you could easily spend 2 or 3 hours just watching a favorite show or playing a new video game. But if you do the math, 3 hours a day over the course of a month adds up to 90 hours, not a small amount, right? So, what did you do with that time? Certainly a lot. You could learn a new skill, read books about finance, or even spend time working on a side hustle. Remember, the rich don't have more free time than you. They just know how to make the most of their time. Take Bill Gates, for example, the founder of Microsoft. Despite being one of the wealthiest people in the world, he keeps the habit of reading every day. Bill Gates has said that he reads about 50 books a year, and that's why he's always ahead of the curve and able to make accurate business decisions. Reading not only helps him stay updated with information, but also sparks creative ideas that help him grow Microsoft. On the other hand, those who spend too much time watching TV or playing video games often fall into a state of complacency with short-lived successes. They forget that games or TV shows only offer temporary entertainment, but don't help them grow intellectually or financially. The more you play games, the more you watch shows, the fewer opportunities you have to achieve your larger life goals. So what's the advice from billionaires? Instead of being glued to the TV screen or getting lost in meaningless games, spend that time doing something more valuable. Invest in knowledge, learn from successful people, or simply improve your own skills. These activities will not only help you grow, but also help you build a solid financial foundation. Remember, success doesn't come from mindless entertainment. It comes from knowing how to use your time meaningfully. If you continue to let time slip away in vain, you will pay the price for that wasted time in the future. 7. Unplanned luxury travel, turning dreams into debt. Surely, all of us have dreamed of amazing trips, right? A lavish vacation to exotic destinations, experiencing life's most wonderful things. These are completely reasonable and deserving desires. However, when we fail to plan our finances clearly for the trip, this dream can quickly turn into a financial nightmare. Warren Buffett, who has accumulated massive wealth throughout his life, has always emphasized that travel is a wonderful experience. But paying off debt after the trip can lead to headaches and regret. Travel, if not planned financially, can easily lead you into the trap of overspending. You might feel that you deserve a luxurious trip, but that could result in facing difficult debts for many years to come. In reality, many people make the mistake of borrowing money to go on vacation, thinking that the trip is a worthy investment in life. They fail to realize that while these trips may bring memorable experiences, the debt they must repay afterward will cause stress and anxiety for a long time. Surely, you wouldn't want to end your dream trip with a list of loans and debts waiting to be paid, right? A prime example to consider is the story of successful entrepreneurs like Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin Group. Despite his love for travel and his encouragement for others to explore the world, Branson never travels recklessly. He always meticulously plans his finances before every trip, ensuring that his travels don't interfere with his long-term financial goals. This serves as a valuable lesson on the importance of spending wisely when enjoying life. It's not just Richard Branson. Other billionaires like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos also manage their finances wisely, even though they have unlimited spending power. They understand that travel is not a reason to break the budget, but rather an opportunity to seek knowledge and new experiences. For them, each trip is a chance to renew their mindset and discover creative ideas for their businesses. So, how can you enjoy travel without falling into debt? The answer is, plan your finances carefully before embarking on a journey. Don't let the excitement or allure of luxury trips lead you to lose control. Set a budget for your trip and stick to it, rather than succumbing to the temptation of overspending. If possible, opt for shorter and more affordable trips while still experiencing new places. Additionally, it's important to plan for long-term financial goals. You can start saving gradually for your trip, create a separate travel fund, and use only the money in this fund for vacations. Another approach is to prioritize experiential trips over luxurious and expensive ones. For instance, you could choose short, cost-effective getaways or joint travel programs offered by companies. Rich people aren't ahead of you because of where they started, but because of how they think and manage their money. As you've just seen, wasting money often comes from habits, not circumstances. If you start making small changes today, you're already on the path to building sustainable wealth. Don't underestimate the power of daily financial decisions. They determine whether you stay poor or move closer to true financial freedom in the future.